In today's video, we will be looking at part 2 of the anime, Mysterious Girlfriend X. Previously, a new female student named Urabe has transferred into Tsubaki's class and is already tagged as the class weirdo. One evening, an inexperienced Tsubaki tastes her drool and becomes addicted to it. She notices this and arranges to give him a dose of her drool daily to keep him sane. They end up falling for each other and officially becoming a couple. It is later revealed that when they taste each other's drool, they momentarily feel each other's emotional and physical state. The story continues when the girls have a PE class where Oka comments on Urabe's fast track time. The track team star notices this and tries to recruit her on the team, but she refuses. Yajime makes her promise to at least run the relay on field day, to which she agrees. On her way home with Tsubaki, she alerts him of the situation, and he does recall that she is nimble when she uses her panty scissors, so he is not surprised that she's athletic. Urabe declined to join because it would mean that they can't walk home together. Tsubaki tries to hug her, but she easily dodges, reminding him not to touch her without permission. Urabe decides to train for the relay race during lunch instead of getting usual nap, which catches Oka's attention. Oka knows about Urabe and Tsubaki's relationship and is also involved in some occasional drool tasting herself. The girl starts to tease Urabe that she didn't join the track club because her legs belong to Tsubaki, which she tries to deny. Meanwhile, the owner of her legs admires her from the class window. The following day, Urabe notices that her boyfriend is absent from school. As Oka feeds her during lunch, it is revealed that he's sick due to a bad cold. Oka reminds Urabe of what she did when her boyfriend was sick with the cold. Later that evening, Urabe visits Tsubaki's home pretending to deliver class notes to him, so his sister lets her in. When left alone with him, she makes him taste her drool, which reminds him of being in the sun. His cold symptoms start to subside to his amazement. Happy to see him in a healthier state, she leaves. When she gets home, it is revealed that she had a bikini on under her coat, which probably triggered the sunshine vision. The high school field day arrives. Urabe thanks her friend for the advice as it aided in treating Tsubaki. Oka tastes her drool to find out what went down. Later, Urabe's excellent performance during the relay gives her class the victory. She's hailed as a hero as they all celebrate. At the end of the school day, Tsubaki makes his way to his locker to find that someone has removed his name tag. He pays no mind to it as he rushes to meet up with his girlfriend. On the way home, he insists that Urabe joins the track team based on her performance, but she shows him her leg with this locker tag stuck on it, indicating that he's the owner of them, so she will not join the track team. She then gives him his daily shot of drool before running home. One night, Tsubaki wakes from a dream where he's grabbing Urabe's melons. Since it is a weekend, he decides to leave the house to take his mind off the dream, but he's unable to do so. The boy decides to take a stroll around the area where Urabe resides, but he ends up bumping into her as she returns from the grocery store. She invites him to her apartment for some tea and is surprised to learn that she lives alone. He's reminded of the melons when she takes a coat off, revealing her skin-tight jumper. When she excuses herself to make the tea, he activates weirdo mode and starts to sniff her bed. He gets a bit startled when she enters with their hot drinks. As they discuss, it is apparent to Urabe that he wants to ask a question, so she prompts him to do so, but Tsubaki is unable to. They are interrupted when the thunder roars as the dark clouds start to gather. This causes Urabe to slip and falls on Tsubaki. The pervy teen tries to use it as an opportunity to grab a feel, but she gets away. He apologizes and explains his dream. Urabe grabs her own balloons when generating drool. She lets him taste it so that he indirectly gets the sensation, but it seems like the guy wants a more direct experience, so she allows him. His puberty hormones start raging as he gets carried away, even licking her ear. He stops when he notices tears running down her face, but she alerts him that she's not mad. He apologizes and quickly excuses himself out of the room. The following day at school, Oka feeds Urabe her last bite at lunch, so she returns the favor by giving her some drool for dessert. From her physiological response after tasting it, she realizes that something must have happened between the couple, but Urabe is coy about it. Later at class, Tsubaki glances over at his girlfriend, trying to figure out what she's thinking. On the way home, he apologizes again for his behavior to Urabe's confusion because she already stated that she was not angry. She prepares to give him his daily shot of drool, but he pauses and asks her to slap him first, to which she complies by giving him a slap that even Will Smith would be proud of. She asks him to touch her ear. When he does, she starts tearing up again and explains that his lick has caused a permanent change to her body and she doesn't mind. This guy has the tongue of biological reconstruction. She tastes his drool so that she too will feel the pain of his slap before giving him his daily stuff and then departing. A new day at school and Urabe comes in with her hair messy. Oka decides to give her a fresh hairstyle which shows her face. The boys in class then start to comment on how cute she looks during PE, which gets Tsubaki feeling jealous, so on the way home he pleads with her to change it back to normal. The following day, Oka offers to do another hairstyle, but Urabe declines. Her friend figures out that it is because her boyfriend got jealous. Meanwhile, at the school rooftop, Nakajima from the photography club took some pictures of Urabe when she had her face showing and is selling it to her new fans for 300 yen a piece. Tsubaki is livid but tries to play it cool since no one knows that's his girl. One guy notices that she looks like a famous idol. Tsubaki gets intrigued, so he goes to the local book shop to get a magazine of the idol and instantly becomes a fan. Urabe later finds out and gets jealous, so she destroys his magazine with her scissor skills. A couple of days later he goes back to the bookstore to buy another magazine of the idol. As he leaves the shop, he's greeted by his junior school crush Hayakawa, but he doesn't recognize her at first because she has had her hair cut. They have a little catch up as they walk to a park. She discloses that she has broken up with her boyfriend before asking him if he has a girlfriend, to which he denies. I think she's looking for a rebound. Hayakawa reveals that she knew that he had a crush on her when they were in school. This gives Tsubaki the confidence to confess some of the weird things he did, like keeping a lock of her hair. He tries to cheer her up by complimenting her, which causes her to cry. He gets a little smitten when she looks up with tears and drool running down her face. She asks if they can be meeting up at the park once in a while to have a chat, but this drool addict is too busy focusing on it flowing down her chin. He wonders how another girl's drool tastes like, to the point that he agrees to meet up with her under the condition that she lets him taste her drool. He immediately backtracks, but she agrees to his conditions. Hayakawa loads up the drool on her fingers, but he's unable to suck it. His mind plays statements that Urabe has made about how their bond is tied to the drool. Tsubaki starts to tear up, which brings him back to his senses, so he rejects Hayakawa's drool. She figures out that he has a girlfriend and starts to ask if he has tasted her drool, to which he answers yes. Hayakawa wants to know how it tastes and hints that hers might taste sweeter. She finds out his girlfriend's name before leaving abruptly. When she gets home, she fantasizes about giving Tsubaki her drool. The girl later catches up to Urabe, who cuts her off before she can introduce herself. She alerts Hayakawa that she's already aware of her since Tsubaki mentioned her in the past. Hayakawa gives her an invitation to a cultural festival at her school for the following Sunday. She entices her by informing her that Tsubaki will be there too. That night, Hayakawa calls him and lies that her ex-boyfriend attacked her when she refused to get back with him. She asks Tsubaki to pretend to be her new boyfriend when accompanying her to the cultural festival. He's a bit reluctant, but he agrees. The following evening, after giving him his drool shot, Urabe asks Tsubaki if he has any plans on Sunday, but he lies that he's to meet his friend Ueno, who happens to be Oka's girlfriend. The next day at school, Oka reveals she's going to the festival with her man, which confuses Urabe a little. The day of the festival arrives and Hayakawa decides to dress up in her middle school uniform with a long hair wig to evoke Tsubaki's past feelings. She clutches onto him as they move through the festival, saying that they really need to make it look like they are in a relationship. Meanwhile, Oka and Ueno are also around but make a stop at a maid cafe where she surprises her boyfriend by dressing up as one. The other guys at the cafe also like what they see and start taking pictures with her, which makes Ueno jealous as he storms off. Now left alone, she looks outside a window and spots Hayakawa in the arms of Tsubaki. She tails them as they move to a secluded part of the school and watches on as Hayakawa confesses that she wants to be with Tsubaki. She suggests that he at least tastes her drool before deciding between her and his current girl. Oka prepares her camera to get the evidence of him cheating, but she decides to stop him instead. Urabe in a cardboard robot costume holds her back. She rather comes out and agrees with Hayakawa's suggestion. Tsubaki would get blindfolded and have a taste of each girl's drool. The one that resonates with him the most wins. Urabe goes first and gives him a shot of her sweet drool, which causes him to get an immediate nosebleed. He recognizes it as Urabe's, and he even knows that she's not wearing anything under the costume. Urabe uses her scissor skills to cut the cardboard, confirming his statement. Hayakawa also decides to do the same. Tsubaki stands there and he is going crazy at the idea that they are standing there in their natural form. But as Hayakawa prepares to give her drool, she begins to cry. Urabe points out that those are tears of rejection. If she really loved him, she would not be crying. Tsubaki agrees and attributes her behavior to her wanting a rebound due to her recent breakup with her boyfriend. She breaks down crying, revealing her pain. He tries to comfort her, but Urabe stops him. She instead licks Hayakawa's drool and confirms its sweetness. She alerts her that one day she will also find someone who will return her feelings. Tsubaki shakes when the thought of him also tasting it comes to his mind, which causes his blindfold to fall. This allows him to see them in their natural forms. Oka notices this and alerts the girls, who slap him for perving at them. While he lays there knocked out, Hayakawa apologizes for causing the couple trouble with her antics. That evening as they walk home, he says sorry for going out on a fake date with his former crush. The following day at school, Oka wants to see Urabe's scissor skills again. She initially refuses but showcases it quickly when Oka reveals a picture she took of Urabe in her natural form. The couple later walk home, but Tsubaki can't stop thinking about what he saw the other day. Urabe tastes his drool to figure out what he's thinking, but it only confuses her more. She gives him his daily dose, but Tsubaki can't help himself, so he goes in for a hug again. He quickly uses his handkerchief to block her scissor display, but her accuracy was off, causing her to scratch him a little. Urabe takes him back to her place to give him first aid. She tries to cut something again while in her room and notices that her cuts are off. Meanwhile, Tsubaki keeps getting flashes of Urabe in his mind, so he tries to excuse himself but ends up slipping, hitting his head on the bed frame as he tries not to hug her by accident. She smothers him with her melons as she alerts him that she would rather him hug her than hurt himself. The next time they walk together, she gives him a genuine hug after giving him his drool shot. Tsubaki comes home to his sister sleeping as she drools all over the table. After pointing out the drool on her chin, he asks her if she has a boyfriend, which surprises her. One evening, Urabe bumps into Tsubaki's sister. The two go out for a coffee where she reminisces about her time at their school. After a long chat, she gives her a cherry mochi before they part ways. The following day, Tsubaki and his sister are accompanied by their dad to visit their mother's grave. They clean it and pay their respects before leaving. As they head back to the car, Tsubaki and his dad worry that his sister has not gotten married yet, but she assures them that she will as soon as Tsubaki finishes university and get on his feet. They try to object, but she has already made up her mind. The next time the couple walk home, Urabe informs him about her coffee chat with his sister and cherry mochi gift. Tsubaki explains that it's because his late mother used to like it. She died when he was young, so he doesn't remember much. She expresses her wish to visit her grave with him over the weekend. They meet up and head to the graveyard on the agreed day. Tsubaki notices that Urabe is dressed extra nicely. Upon their arrival, she pays her respects before disclosing that she dressed like that because she's meeting her boyfriend's mom. She asks him to place his hand on his mother's grave as they exchange drool. This must be some side effects of their puberty because this is weird. Urabe starts crying and discloses that he might not remember, but when his mom died, he cried a lot. The revelation causes him to tear up a little. As they make their way back home, Urabe divulges that they will be doing even more inappropriate things now that their relationship has reached a new level of deepness. That brings the series to an end.